Good evening. With me in the recording are a couple students from our class who were curious how this test out would work, and we're using curious instead of any swear words. This is an assignment that I did not find easy. Part of it was how the questions were asked. So this is 5.7.9, and I am in test out. There's 11 steps in here. It is open on the screen. There are 4 tabs to this assignment, and one of the things I had to make sure is that I was on the right tab. So there's catalog, reads, sales, appointments. This one particularly, the formulas in column G, in column I had to look up. They weren't ones I was used to, so it was interesting to go through that. I'm on catalog, where it starts, and they're going to be having us work on the formulas ribbon. The first question on the lab, I'm supposed to be in H6, and it's on formulas. Logical. If only has 2 answers. So let's see what they're asking me. The function argument's open for if, and the first thing a function argument asks is, what is my test? In row 1, the question is it a percussion? So I'm going to click on the cell where it has the type, D6. Is D6 equal to, you have to put it in quotes, percussion, spell it right, is words, text. So my logical test is D6, looking at it, equal to percussion, spelled right in text. If it's true, I'm supposed to click on the cost, F6, and give it a discount, minus $50. If it is not percussion, that's the third line, value if false, I'm supposed to use just the price on that row, F6. So the function arguments from top to bottom, there are 3 in an if function. Row 1, what is the test? D6 equals percussion. I'm looking for percussion instruments, and that has to be in quotes. Row 2, the value if true, F6 minus 50. It's what they put in their little sample test. Value if false. In an if statement, it is simply going to be F6, there it is, the cost with no price change. That's okay. That was the first one. Go on to the next. I'm supposed to use the fill handle to copy the formula from G6 down. So I'm going to click on the formula in G6, and I had to be careful not to go beyond. So I'm going to stop at row 17. There you go. They have easy ones, and then they have ones that take 100 steps. Number 3, in H23, scrolling down, down, H. In H23, got it? I'm supposed to average it if I'm a brass instrument. So I'm on the row for brass, and the if statement has to have 2 things it's looking up. Column D is where it's saying the type, brass, woodwind, percussion. Column F, you want to average up what the price is. So 2 ranges. Let's do the formula. My cursor's on H23, the ribbon is formulas, and this is an average if. So it's, this one I had to look up, more functions, statistical, and there's my average family. I want average if. Give me the average if I'm the right criteria. The function argument's open. There are two average if arguments I need to answer. What is my range? There it is in the D column. D6 through D17. What am I looking up for criteria? The question says we're looking up brass, B-R-A-S-S, brass. Because brass is words, text, it has to be in quotes. Where's the money that I'm averaging up? There it is in the F column. F6 through F17. Three parts to the arguments for average if, starting from the top. The range is D6 through D17. That's the range. The criteria is brass, in quotes, and the average is in the F column, F6 through F17. Okay? Well, now we got chocolate for that one. The sum if. Sum if is on a different set. I'm going to go to the formulas ribbon. We were just here on the more function statistical. There's average if, count if, but sum if is under math and trig. So where do they want this? I-24, scroll down, scroll down. I-24, I had to be careful which one. I-24, nope, that one. I'm on the woodwind row and they want my criteria to be woodwinds. I need to look up the total in stock and I need to look up the range. So the range is in the D column, percussion, woodwinds, brass. The in stock this time is in the E column. How many woodwinds do we have in stock is what it's asking. Sum if woodwind. Well, here we go. I'm on the right place. The formula ribbon is here, but sum if is math and trig. And there it is. Sum if. The argument's opened up. On the top row, where's my range? D6 through D17. Second row in the arguments. What is my criteria? They said woodwind. Spell it right. Make it quotes. Where is the in stock? Sum if. E column. E6 through E17. So the arguments are for sum if. The range is D6 through D17. What am I looking up in that range? The criteria is woodwind, in quotes. What is my range? They asked us to count what was in stock. Okay. We did it. Silly wabbit. Okay. Count if. J25. We did an average if of the brass, a sum if of the woodwinds. Now we're going to count me if I'm a percussion. So I'm in the right place, J25. Formulas. More functions. Statistical. This one's count if. Only two arguments in the function arguments. Where is the range? D6 through D17. What are we counting? The criteria they asked us was percussion. Say okay. There's my function arguments for count if. It was good. Show the formulas. I'm on the sheet that they want us to see, which is catalogs. The ribbon that I want is formulas. And in the formula auditing, I want to click on show formulas. Move it out of the way this time. There it is. The if function, count me if I'm a woodwind. Remember we did that formula when we first started. Oh yeah, I remember. Do the following. I'm going to go to a different spreadsheet. This one's the reads. Walk through the steps with me. On D4, I have to create a formula that multiplies the number of reads, I can see it's number 1 here, times the price of a read. Here's how we do the formula. All equation starts with equals. Times. On my keyboard, that's the asterisk key, G4. So far, so good. It makes sense. 1 times $1.50. If I hit the enter key, it is $1.50. I'm going to go back to that formula, C4 times G4, and put my cursor on the formula bar at the top. My cursor is between the G and the 4, and I'm going to type on my keyboard F4. That's at the top row on your keyboard, on top of the home row. If I don't find the F4 key or don't remember it, can I simply type in the $sign? I know where that is on my keyboard. $G, $4. Yes, you can. I like the way Excel uses color to show me exactly what cells I'm using. When I hit the enter key, it says, good job. In this one, in J6, got it. This is the reorder function, and I'm going to use the if formula. The ribbon that I want is formulas, and the book that I want from the functions is logical, the if logical formula. The function arguments are open. I'm moving them down here a bit so I can see my data. There are 3 rows in my function arguments for if. Cursor's on row 1. What is my test? For the first one, E6. The question is that number less than or equal to 4? So I'm going to type in on my keyboard, less than or equal to 4. That's what they asked. 4 or fewer. Is E6 less than or equal to 4? My answer, if I'm looking at a 3, is less than 4. Value if true, say yes. Value if false, say no. I'm going to read that over again to make sure I have right. Use the insert function to create an if function that will show the word yes. If it's true, it should be yes. If it's false, it should be no. All right. And 3 is less than 4. So my math is right. If I drag that down, they said to row 17. Got it? It is correct. Cool. Going to a different spreadsheet. Number 3 is on sales. And I have an issue here. That's the one I beamed in on because it said #name. It's like, they asked me to correct H6. And if I click on H6, there's a triangle that tells me, little green notch there and a yellow alert that says inconsistent formula. So what's wrong with this formula? If I double click the formula, I can see that it doesn't include all of the quarters, E6 through G6. If I double click the formula above it, yes, indeed, they wanted all 4 quarters. They asked me if there's a problem, fix it. All right, I'm going to go back to H6 where there is a problem, go up to the formula bar up at the top, and correct it, just as if it was an email. Instead of E6, backspace, D6. I can tell by the auditing and the blue bar around everything that it has highlighted the correct cell. My formula equals the sum of D6 through G6. When I hit enter, good job. Onward. On the appointments tab, another one, the unique one, but we know the hint on this one. I'm on I4 equals unique, parenthesis. As I'm typing it, you can see there's a helper hint in Excel that does pop up when you're using formulas. I often use the function arguments. It's the way I see things best. Some people do it by just reading the formula hint. I'm going to look up the array D4 through D15 and enter. They want me to repeat the appointment one to get the points. I'm going to go to appointments, equals, sort. With a parenthesis, I'm going to choose the correct range of the instruments, C4 through C15, and hit enter. Score. Sure, I'll score. 100%. That was 5.7.9, use advanced functions. And thank you for allowing me to make that recording.